welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing some film strips and viewfinder reels. I've got dies. You need a circle die, the viewfinder die that I've got, and a film strip. And then I'm also using, I want to use up my, I've got a box full of negatives, so I'm looking at things to do with them, to use them. And then also back to some of my pet tape here as well. Now I've already cut out the film strip die, and you also need just a scrap of paper for this to go on the back here. We will be cutting it down, but this puts the pet tape onto here. So I choose the pictures I want. So one like that will do. There's my scissors there. Maybe I can look for a nature theme. That one. You need the ones, look, another tree. Yep, that one fits. And I like the look of this one. Well, let's do 3 trees, shall we? There, we'll take that one. I think I'll put this one at the top. So we start off. I'll be cutting all this down anyway before I glue it on to make sure it fits within this piece here. So I just need to take the back of these off, and I'm going to take the backs off of them and put them on some greaseproof paper so I can peel them easier. Okay, I've taken the first one and put it down there. Stuck it down. I then put the slide die over the top and put my next one in. I haven't taken it off its backing yet. Put it down so I can mark where I want it to be, about there. Take the third one, put that underneath, like that, and mark that one as well there. I'll now take these off and put these onto here and show you what I do next. Okay, I've got them on the paper. I'm using deli paper. It certainly works, it's a lot easier. So I'm putting that. Whoa. You can put them up and down, take them off, up and off if you place it wrong. There. This bit will be cut off at the bottom anyway, and the top. And there. So this will now go over like this. Now first, before I do any of that, I've done that, I'm going to ink around the edges of this. So that's like that. So then I'm going to put this in here and mark with a pencil where I want to cut. So this needs to be cut off about there, and this one about there. So you have your strip like this. Probably needs a bit more at the top, just a fraction. Then I need to mark where I want to cut it off at the sides so that it does glue just to the edge. In fact, looking at it, I think what I'll do, oops, is cut there and straighten that up. So I'm cutting just over the edge of the pet tape. I mean, this all depends on your die, but this is the principle of it. What I think I'll do is, first of all, before I do any of that, I'm going to do some stamping, and I have the Stamperia stamp text, what's it called? I'm not sure what it's, Dewdrops, WTK 208, and I'm going to use some of the text from this stamp with just some black soot. And just go around the edges with it. Like that. Okay. Now I need to glue. Before I glue the bottom, I'll glue across, oh dear. Okay, there we go. So that's the film strip. Can get a bit fiddly. If you think this was fiddly, the next one's even more fiddly. But I like that. Yep. Definitely. I like that one. Right, now the wheel. And for this, you need one of the Viewfinder dies and 3 circles. This will be going on here and then being attaching to that so you can swivel it. Okay, I now for this take my negatives, which I've cut in half. I take the die, as I do need this again, and put it on the circle, and then I go round and put my negatives in the little viewfinders, making sure that I'm cutting, we'll be cutting one out of each of these strips. So it ends up like this. I then make sure I've got this down, and then I'll be taking it to die cutting machine, and we'll cut that out like that. Okay, I've cut all these out, so they come out like this here. It's very fiddly because you have to see, I've just noticed I've still got a few bits of film stuck in there. You have to push all these bits out, and you're going through 3 layers because I've put it on a circle and then on the paper to go through. That's more so I can see what I'm doing, otherwise this acts as a tray to go through. Anyway, the next thing, which can be just as fiddly, is clamping these together on the edge there, and then a bit like before, working my way round. And what I do is I draw around like this. So that I know where I'm putting the little pieces of film strip. So it's like that, and then you just take each one of these and glue them in the gap. Now they have a shiny side and a matte side, and I glue the matte side down. Some are a little bit misshapen, and I just do a get my tweezers and glue. Once I put the first one down, I do check I've got a place. Like that. There. And I'll carry on and glue the rest of these down. Okay, they're all down. I now want to ink, just in case anything is showing around the edge, and then I'm going to glue just around this. And this again is quite, everything's very fiddly with this one. But it's worth the effect in the end, I think. That's the thing, isn't it? It might take a little bit of time to do this and patience, but it's definitely worth the effect in the end. And then I've just got to put some glue, you do it very, very lightly, all the way around the edge and up these bits, whoops, and round here. And then there's some more inking, and it doesn't matter if you go over the film. There, quite pleased with that. It's not come out too bad, has it? Bit fiddly, but we got there. Okay, and then the next thing is I have this, whoops, where is it? Oh no, there it is. Sorry about that. I have this clock stamp. I think they're from Tim Holtz. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And I'm going to use the black. But the only bit that really fits in is this middle bit. So I've just got to wipe off around the edges. Doesn't really matter which way up we go. Let's go that way. I'm going to put the 12 there. And print inside, hopefully. Like that. Oh, yes, I'm happy with that. And then get rid of that now. Bring in my foam and that. And this is where this comes in. And again, I'm going to ink around the edge. Put that onto there. Hold it down. Whoops. Whoa. Sorry about that. And push this all the way through. I've got quite a large brad to go through. And I push down on a ruler to flatten the back, and then it can spin. And I will put some tape on the back of that. Oh, this stuff. Use the art glitter glue. When I was gluing the wheel down, I realised that probably the art glitter glue wasn't the best option, and just using some of this, because you're not actually gluing over the top of the film, which is tacky glue. Just use some tacky glue. It gives you a little bit more manoeuvrability. So there's my clock wheel, viewfinder wheel that you can move around, and my film strip that I've done. And one other thing, it's very quick, I found I had some large ones of these films, and I just cut out some film strips from them, so that again it's something else I can use up and put into a journal over the top of a page as an embellishment. Mind you, I'm not sure you can see it there. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I will see you all again in the next video. Please hit the like, subscribe and notification bell. Thanks a lot. Bye.